Yes, hello, how are you? And how are you all doing? All right, this is a live webinar, and today we are going to be talking about something I believe is becoming increasingly important for modern businesses, the social media operating system. In this webinar, our interest is helping you to stop managing tools and start running a system. Modern days, social media has evolved beyond social media management. Businesses are now moving towards the operating system, and that is what we are trying to show you here in this webinar. Right now, at this very moment, you may be operating a social media management system that is not only consuming your energy, but it's also draining your finances. Like I said earlier, you may actually be servicing tools instead of using these tools to enhance your productivity. And that is exactly what we are going to unpack today, right? That's what we're going to unpack today. But before we go into the main discussion, I want to welcome every one of you. If you are new to this channel, please follow us so you can receive notifications about our upcoming sections and webinars. I know a lot of you are joining us for the first time. I can see one Chidimel or one named John on the chat. So let's make this interactive for the beginners. Yes, irrespective of the platform you are joining us from, I can see all the chats, please. All right. Can everyone indicate if they can hear me? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. All right, let me be sure you can all hear me. And if you're having issue with your audio, just drop an emoji or let me know in the chat as well. And while we are on that, please let me know where you are all joining me from. Let me know where you are joining me from, right? Are you in Lagos, Abuja, Accra, Ghana, from London, or even anywhere. Where are you joining us from? Just drop it in the comment section, please. Drop it in the comment section. I did love to know who is in the room with us today. You are all welcome once again to this live webinar. Today, we'll be talking about how to build a better system for managing your social media operations. Yes, how to build a better system. Like I earlier said, businesses and brands are evolving into the new trend of social media operations. All right, and that is what we'll be showing you today in this live webinar. For those of you who don't know me, before I introduce myself, I would like to take us through a rundown of what we'll be discussing today. In a short while, I'll be introducing myself and what initiated me to build this platform and also the aiding course in social media, the ideal workflow for every social media platform, how it should be, and a live demo of how the system runs, and also the coming features that we have in stock. And we'll get to the question and answer where you can ask whatever you want within and around the system. All right. So Oshapi Bernard, I'm the founder of AI Digital Marketing, and I'm also the co-founder of eWork Social. eWork Social is an AI-powered social media operations platform. It's built specifically for digital marketers, agencies, creators, freelancers, brand owners, and growing businesses. Now, because I tell you about eWork Social, and before I tell you about eWork Social, I want to tell you why I built it. Yes, because this wasn't simply an idea that came from looking at the software market and said, all right, let's just build a platform. No. It came from my experience. It came from actually doing the work. It came from managing clients. It came from managing social media. It came from dealing with approvers. It came from switching between different platforms, from trying to keep track of content, and from experiencing the frustration that comes when every client has a different way of working. Yes, at one point in my journey, I had to step away from a project I was working on because of a major personal responsibility sometime last year. When I eventually returned, it took me several months to get myself back into the realms of finding and managing new projects. Eventually, I secured another client. And what I initially thought would be straightforward project became a major learning experience all over again. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of communication, a lot of revision, a lot of trying to organize myself around the client's expectation. And that is when something became very clear to me. Having skill to do the work is not the same thing as having the system to manage. You can be the excellent marketer, you can be the great designer, you can understand social media, you can know exactly what you are doing, right? But when you don't have a proper system behind you, the work can still become chaotic. And the interesting thing is that clients aren't necessarily trying to make your life difficult. I know a lot of us must have experienced this with one or two clients, especially those of us into freelancing, entrepreneurship, and all that. They too have their own pressure. They are trying to meet their own deadlines. They are trying to satisfy their own customers. They are trying to grow their own businesses. So when communication becomes scattered, everybody feels the pressure. The freelancer feels it, the agency feels it, the client feels it, and eventually the business feels it. That experience made me started asking a very simple question on one fateful Sunday at about 11:47 when I was still in the client's project. A system that we have a system that brings all of this together. A system where you could organize content, manage your clients, schedule your posts, handle approvals, monitor engagement, and understand what is happening with your social media operations without constantly jumping between different tools. And that question eventually became a work social. Wow. It's awesome. When I think back about the process, I knew it's worth it. So that is the story behind what we are going to explore today. Not just on that social media tool, but a better way of thinking about these social media operations. And by the end of this section, I want you to be able to look at your own workflow and ask yourself, am I actually running a social media system or am I just managing a collection of tools? That is where we're going to begin. So in this session, I'll be taking us through some key topics I already showed you. We will look at why we're setting up and building eWork solution. The chaos that comes with managing social media across different tools and some of the issues we're trying to resolve with what we are calling a social media operating system. I know a lot of you will have questions as we go along, and I'm sure some of the things I'll be showing you will raise even more questions. So please keep your questions coming, but jot them down for now. We'll have a dedicated question and answer towards the end of the webinar, and we'll go through them together. All right. And of course, there will be a live demonstration of how the system works. So you won't just be hearing me talk about it. You will actually see the workflow in action. Yeah, you will see the workflow in action. So first, let me give you a brief background on who I am and why I built eWork Social. After nearly 9 years working in digital marketing, I've experienced firsthand what happens. After nearly 9 years working in digital marketing, I've experienced firsthand what happens when you're constantly juggling different tools just to accomplish one task. You might use one tool to create your content, another to, to schedule it, another to get approval, another to manage your clients, another to monitor, and another one to look at your reports. At some point, I started asking myself, why are we doing all this? You know, because why are we doing all this? Why can't the essential things an agency or freelancer, even a content creator, needs to manage their social media actually live in one place? Why? And that is where the idea behind Old Social started. Now, guys, think about your workflow. Just think for a moment about your workflow. You have an idea, you draft the content, then you send it to the client, and now you are waiting for approval. Sometimes that approval is happening on WhatsApp, sometimes it's in an email, sometimes it's in a voice note, sometimes the client sees the message and didn't respond. Then you have that forgotten draft sitting somewhere on your laptop that you meant to publish 3 days ago. Or maybe you have already published the post, but you missed an important comment because you weren't monitoring that particular platform. And then there's probably the most popular question every social media manager have heard. Have the post gone live yet? Or when is post going live? You know? I know how few must have heard this. These are things that sound small individually, but when put together, they become a serious productivity problem. Let's put some numbers around it. Yes, imagine you spend just 11 hours every week switching between tools, or even 5 hours following up on approval, searching for content, checking different platforms, managing disconnected workflows. That is about 528 hours, all right? Or say 5 hours in a week, that is 260 hours in a year. That is more than 32 hours working days. That is about a month working days spent simply managing the process around the world. And if your time is maybe worth 40 US dollar an hour, that is more than $10,000 worth of productivity time that's gone into research and all that. So the problem is it simply that you are using too many tools. The real problem is that those disconnected tools are costing you your time, your attention, your productivity, and ultimately your growth. And this becomes even more important when you are working in a market where businesses and agencies are already trying to operate with limited resources, especially those of us that even in lower. Sometimes you have to just take some gigs or projects for as low as 15 US, 20, 25 US, and still you still pass through the same chaotic process in achieving the end goal. This is one of the reasons I believe African freelancers and content creators growing businesses need systems that are not only powerful but also practical and accessible. So, what does an ideal social media system looks like? Simple. Now, let's step away from the problem for a moment. This is an ideal social media workflow, and this is how a workflow actually looks like. Ideally, you should have something like this: your content, where you draft content and send for approval to your client. Once the client approves, they are being scheduled. Immediately, the posts are scheduled, the content are scheduled, it published automatically, and the engagement goes out. The post goes out. It now goes to engagement, the CRM as well. Every comment and DMs, one inbox, every interaction tied to the clients in the CRM pipeline, and the reporting as well. That is the workflow. And here is something important. You can't really afford to ignore any of these stages. If your content is great, but your approval process is broken, the workflow fails. If your scheduling is great, but you don't monitor engagement, you lose opportunities. If you are getting leads but don't have a CRM to manage them, you are losing potential business. And if you don't have reporting, you don't really know what is working. So the social media operation isn't just about creating and publishing content, it's the entire system around that content. A lot of social media management platforms are very good at one thing: scheduling. And scheduling is important. But scheduling the post is not the end of the job. Once that post goes live, people start commenting, people send messages, people ask questions, potential customers show interest, leads come in, and somebody needs to manage all of that. That is where engagement, CRM, and reporting becomes important. Historically, many businesses have had to use different tools We'll bring in different specialists to manage these different parts of the operation. And that is exactly the gap we are trying to address. The exact when eWork Social was built. We are bringing this stage together into one social media operation, into one social media operation, right? One platform, one login, one demo, live demo right now. We are bringing these stages together into one social media operating system, one platform, one login, one demo. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. The eWork social demo. This is how, this is all the features of the 7 stages in social media marketing. So right now I'm going to switch over to my dashboard or screen. All right, guys, this is the home page. This is the dashboard for eWork Social. Like you can rightly see, the AI writing tool is inside the composer. When you come to the scheduler, click on compose. This is the AI writing tool. Write a caption. All right, you write a caption, you type what you want, and it gives you what you want in your brand voice. All right, and the CRM and the client pipeline as well. You can input the client details manually by typing the client details. Client details can also be auto-populated from the autoresponder. Okay, if you schedule one, it will auto-populate the client CRM. The CRM can also be auto-populated from the engagement hub. If you have comments and you want to link to your CRM, you can also do that. The engagement hub, right? Or you can just tag the comments to follow up later, or you assign the comment to any of your team member if you have a team member to your workspace. All right. We have the client approver, which is a great feature to communicate with your client. How does this work? When you schedule a post before your post go live, but definitely this post has gone live, there's no need to schedule, right? So it's that when you are still drafting before you schedule a post, you can send for approval to the client. You will pick your client directly from your CRM, or you can type it manually and input their email and send it for approval. Once the client approves, you get a response here with any amendments is that is included. The whether approve, rejects, give you few notes for follow up as well. You have the analytics, though we are still working behind the scene to see how we can create the analytics to be more smart to meet the latest trend in the performance, and that will be coming option. And yes, we have the refer option for those who will be joining the growth partner system. We have that coming up because we're actually looking for growth partners, right? What we are doing is not that we need influencers to market eWork Social. We want people that will use the platform and participate in the growth system as well. So this isn't just me telling you that we have these things. You are seeing them live as it works. All right. You are seeing them as it works. So this is eWork Social. I'll be going back to the slide so that we can continue on our slide. Like you can rightly see, eWork Social is still growing, and we are not presenting this platform as a finished product where everything stops here. No, we are building it continuously. We have recently completed a Meta app approval and Google opt-in verification process successfully, which was actually what launched us into this webinar section because we have been building eWork for the past 11 months. We also recently got the approval, which is a major milestone for us. And yes, we'll continue to build and work on other improvements. Additionally, we are looking at the option of including an Apple sign-in. Once they grant us approval, it will be included as well. We are also developing a much smarter layer, the AI, behind the scene. Like I rightly explained, those will come in later on. They will come in later on. Okay, so those will come in much later. So like you can see, we are building more automation in the engagement hub so that comments from Facebook can also hit the engagement hub as well. And the auto response will work directly from the hub to Facebook native. We are working on that behind the scene. And so many other new features. We are working on integration, how to integrate with other workflow platforms like the May.com, Zapier, and others, right? Very soon, those will be integrated into the system. And you, our audience, those that will be joining the growth partner will be among those that will shape the progress of the eWork platform. Whatever decision we reach as a community, we will decide and impute into the system. That is how much we are building into the eWork platform. And eventually, it will help us make a better decision about what to put and how to propose your content and how to automate parts of the workflow. So these are many other things we are working on. For example, the autoresponder is already available in the platform, but we want to continue the expansion so that the system can arrange within the engagement hub a workflow automation for both Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms. Once the LinkedIn gives us approval, it will be included as well. So those are the features we are still working behind the scene. So when you join the growth platform today, eWork Social Growth Partner, you are not just getting access to what exists right now. You are getting an opportunity to grow with the system and help shape what comes next. And that is really important to me because the people who use eWork Social today can tell us what is working, what's missing, what should be built next. And that feedback is going to influence the roadmap. So that is the biggest picture. We are not simply trying to build another social media schedule. We are building a social media operating system that helps modern businesses, brands move from scattered activities to one connected workflow. And now let me show you how it actually works. Let me show you how it actually works. You have seen the platform already. You have seen the workflow. You have seen what we are building with eWork Social. And I want to make something very clear. This is only the beginning. In my subsequent webinars, we will go much deeper into the actual work of this platform, what this platform can really do. We will dedicate entire session to the different areas of this system and walk through the features step by step from content creation and AI writing to scheduling, CRM, pipeline, approvals, engagement, analytics, and everything else we are building. Those sections will also be recorded and made available through our webinar resources. So if you miss one, you will still be able to watch them later That is why I advise if you have not subscribed to our page, please like and follow and turn on the notification bell so that you can always get any new updates. So right now, before we close for the day, like I promised initially, every questions you have written down, this is the time to throw them up. But for today, before we end the call, I'm not asking anyone on this call to go and download any application. That is not my objective right now. Right now, I'm looking for 50 funding users. We already have 4 active growth partners. I'm looking for the people who are willing to actually use the platform. Give us honest feedback. Tell us what is working. Tell us what is broken, and help us make eWork social better. And that is why we are creating this growth partner program, right? For those who join during this funding stage, we are offering a 50% funding members discount on our agency pro plan with the funding price locked in for 2 years. Yes, you heard me right. 2 years. We are locking in the funding price for 2 years, subject to funding offer terms and conditions. All right. But the discount isn't the most important part. The real value is access. As a funding member, you will have direct access to me as a founder, priority access to roadmaps regarding most of the features that we will be putting forward. Everyone in the funding community will have first-hand access, right? And a funding member badge, a VIP communication access for important product discussion as well. And as we organize special community sessions and webinars, funding members will have opportunities to participate, share their experience, and showcase what they are building, and also have opportunities to enhance their referral participation. We also want to support our funding members' visibility. When your content go live that's related to eWork Social, we engage and amplify. When we see content related to eWork Social from our growth partner, we look for opportunities and amplify it to highlight that content through our channels as well. Yes, as eWork Social grows, our partners will grow too. We are not asking you to become a salesperson. We are not asking you to become an influencer. We're asking you to use the platform. Use it regularly. Tell us what works. Tell us what doesn't. Tell us where you get confused. Tell us what you think we should improve. And when eWork Social genuinely helps you, tell people about your experience. Your experience is more powerful than any advertisement I can create. If you love the platform and you decide to refer someone, you will also receive your own referral link through the Growth Partner Program. You can share that link with your clients, your community, your agency network, or other businesses that you believe could benefit from eWork Social. And when those referrals becomes customers, you participate in the referral group. So the idea is simply use eWork Social. Help us improve it. Share your experience. And as eWork Social grows, you will grow with us. If you are an agency owner, you are a freelancer, you are a social media manager, you are a content creator, you are a community manager, or someone managing social media for multiple clients. You already have an audience and professional network. You don't need to become an influencer, all right? You simply need to be able to say, this is what I'm using, this is what my experience has been, and this is why I think it could help you. That's the kind of growth we are interested in building. Real users, real experience, real recommendation. So we have reached the part I promised you at the beginning, the question and answer time. Guys, whatever you have written down, questions throughout the session, now is the time. You can ask me anything about eWork Social. about the workflow, about the pricing, about the agency pro plan, the growth partner program, about the referral tracking, the roadmap, the upcoming features, or anything you saw during the demonstration that you want me to explain further. Don't worry about whether the question is too basic. No, no question is too basic. All right, we are here to treat everything that you don't understand. If you are wondering about it, there's a good chance that someone else on this call is wondering about it. So let's take your questions. Your questions, please. Just drop your question in any of the platform. I can see all the platforms here. Just drop your questions and I will take them. Before we close, I want to remind you about the funding offer. We are opening this for the first 50 funding users. If you decide that eWork Social is something you want to be part of, you can register through the link I've shared in the chat. Yes, it's a special link. Please do not use the regular public pricing link on the homepage of eWork Social. If you are joining specifically as a founding member, I will provide a dedicated registration instruction for the founding offer in the chat so you can access the correct price. The founding offer includes a 50% discount on agency pro with the founding price locked in for 2 years according to the offer terms. Right? Please, guys, go to the chat. And if you can't see it on the chat, just send an email to support at eWork Social, and the details will be sent to you with the subject growth partner. All right. And remember, we are not trying to build this without you. We are building it. Thank you, guys. And finally, thanks to everyone that is joining us for the first time. Thank you for giving me your power. Thank you for listening to the story behind eWork Social. Thank you for looking at the platform. And most importantly, thank you for being willing to consider being part of the early community. If you're already inside, I will see you there. If you are joining today, welcome to the founding. And if you are still thinking about it, that is completely fine too. Explore the platform, ask your questions, take your time. We want people who genuinely believe the system can improve the way they work. So thank you once again for joining me. I'm Shabi Pinan, co-founder of eWork Social, and I'm looking forward to seeing you inside eWork community. Have a wonderful evening and God bless.